Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I've been talking for some time already that there will be at least two opposite independent blocks forming on this planet. One is the old one, the big club led by the United States of America, and then with its house servants, which is Great Britain and France, and sometimes Italy and Germany from the bottom, which is the slave level, bouncing up sometimes, in between the house servant, slave, but the leader is always the same guy. And the other forming alliance and um, pole led by I don't know if it's led, but it starts to catch a certain kind of shape, and that is Russia, China, possibly India. I don't know Pakistan anymore because Pakistan was helped by the big club to make a choice. You know what I mean? And then you have Brazil, South Africa, which these are the country forming the BRICS, Brazil, India, Russia, China, and South Africa. It was an economic partnership, so it seems like they will go towards the second club, and there would be the countries that are in between. That some of them frustrated with a big club being always threatened, hurt, and blackmailed, and there will be probably the ones that are in between. They will not pick any side, and I'm assuming the frustrated countries, I will call them that way because there are some of them. They will, many of them over there, will pick probably the new club, or will be more inclined to go towards this club, the new form club, which as of now, it doesn't have rules or anything, but we already know how the other club functions: threats, blackmail, sanctions. And if you don't do what I'm telling you, you're free. But if you don't do what I'm telling you, I'm gonna slap some sanctions, and military and CIA will do its job over there. So this article that I want to discuss in this video is from the Telegraph by Tom Rees from April 19, 2022, and it's titled Russia and China Threaten Tectonic Shift in World Economy. IMF, International Monetary Fund, warns. Really? You just woke up or something? That could have been seen for the first moves that the big club, the first club, initiated when Russia and Ukraine, started the military operations. uh, by those moves, they were so drastic that that could have been figured out then. But look, these guys are in a month and a half of hostilities, and they already now. The world is at risk of splitting into two economic blocks as a tectonic shift puts an end to decades of globalization. Interdependence. How does that work for you now? NAFTA. All right, the warning came from IMF as its economists slashed growth forecasts in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Britain's economy was downgraded, but is still set to expand considerably more quickly this year than European rivals Germany, France, and Italy. Of course, I said that too, because Britain is the house servant. Germany and Italy, no, and France is in. Let's say 80% is a house servant, and the rest just slaves down there, bottom feeders. There are fears China and Russia could create a financial system to rival the West. It's already there, and you push them there. If they had certain moves, you definitely solidified those moves. Um, you pour concrete around it. So after tough sanctions were imposed on Moscow, the West has ejected Russian banks from the SWIFT global payments, and they have an alternative now, messaging system, and China's Union Pay has stepped in to help Moscow after Visa and MasterCard suspended operations in the country. Yeah, you banned it. China said, come on in. All right, so it says here that the guy Pierre-Olivier Gourinchas, IMF chief economist, said the war also increased the risk of a more permanent fragmentation of the world economy into geopolitical blocs with distinct technology standards, cross-border payment systems, and reserve currency. Oh my, that's bad for the old world order and for the Schwab and his people. He said that this tectonic shift would carry huge economic consequences. Yes, is a major challenge to the rules-based framework. Rule-based? What rules-based? You froze those guys as assets. You kicked them out. A contract is a contract. What do you mean? You froze half of Russia's reserves, overseas reserve. What do you mean rule-based? Where are they? Framework that has governed international and economic relations for the last 75 years. This guy is dreaming. Just look what they did to Russia. And that's rule-based. Yeah, they can sanction whenever they feel like. And that's rule-based, right? A contract is a contract. Remember Germany and France? The IMF said global growth will slow sharply, yes, from 6.1 percentage points in 2021 to 3.6 percentage points this year. So it's going to be the situation is going worsened significantly. The German, Italian, and Russian economies bore the brunt of the downgrades, while the UK is set to enjoy stronger growth than the Eurozone. Yes, right. It says here that the UK economy is expected to expand 3.7 PC this year, down 1% point on the previous forecast, while this will be much stronger than Germany, France, and Italy. UK growth will slow suddenly to 1.2 PC in 2023 as inflation slashes living standards. Didn't I say that? All the way, all the time. Living standards and higher borrowing cost hits business investments, the IMF said. Yes, but at least, as I said many times, you guys are going to go to bed morally clean, but no food for your children. That's good. That's good. Or no electricity. Germany is expected to grow by a much slower 2.1 PC in 2022, almost half the predicted expansion in January, while GDP in Italy will climb 2.3 PC, down 1.5 percentage points. All right. The IMF said EU countries were the second largest drag on its global growth forecast after the Russian economy, which is expected to contract 8.5 PC. The war adds to the series of supply shocks that have struck the global economy in recent years. Yes, yes, like seismic waves, its effects will propagate far and wide through commodity markets, yes, trade and financial links. Certainly, Russia is a major supplier of oil, gas, and metals, and together with Ukraine, of wheat and corn. Didn't you think it through before you slapped all those sanctions, or you thought that Russia is going to just kneel and bow and you're going to step over and do whatever you want? It's unbelievable, and these guys are telling you this right now. But if you put things, close to another, and you look at the trend, I told you this from what, a month and a half ago almost, when the whole hostilities started, and when these guys accelerated their mass media, financial system, industrial system, banking system, all these things were a military supply, where like a command, like one little flick or whatever, what now, push the button, everything at one command, riled up against these guys. Now you can say, yeah, well, it was, we did the right thing. Okay, but did you think of the consequences? You can do the right thing, but you have children, you have a life, one life, as far as you know, but you can, think about other things and fantasize about other lives that's your whatever. But as you know, this is all you got right now. Pinch yourself And you're going to leave it like this, or you're going to leave it like that. And your leaders, our leaders, made decisions in our names that we might disagree with. I personally disagree with many of the sanctions they did, not on Russia. I don't care if they do it on them, but they affect me, and I disagree with that. And morally, it's we can discuss that. It's debatable about the moral authority and moral superiority of these guys versus those guys. Okay, so they didn't sell it well for me. Maybe they sell it for other people, obviously, but when economically they're gonna be hurt, you're gonna see they're squeaking and crying and saying things, and the first ones will be the how do you call it, I can't say it anyway. So um, IMF was just telling you what many other people probably told you, and I certainly did that. So um, what can I say? Buy houses, buy properties, buy gold. Put your money in stuff, not in keep it as where it is, because they're gonna be a big inflation, as it is right now already. I think it's going to be more than this. So stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See you in a moment.